Good evening, folks. It's Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. You know, if it's Tuesday, if it's 8 p.m., well, this time it's 8:30. It's a Robert Duverny Show. Well, first off, I'd like to thank all my viewers, all my local viewers, those of you who's watching the Robert Duverny Show here and abroad, in the United States, around the world. And I'd like to take this time to congratulate you for logging to the Robert Duverny Show. As you know, this show comes on every Tuesday. And the last few Tuesdays, I should point out that I've had some death in the family, so I had to travel and pay homage to my lovely aunt in great state of Georgia. I didn't get to bump into Marjorie Taylor Greene, but we thank you, those of you who sent us your regards, prayers, and we forever grateful. So we're back here, and the Robert Duverny Show comes on to you every Tuesday. So we encourage you to call a friend or colleague, let them know that the Robert Duverny Show is on. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to call a few friends, and then again, we're already logging in live, and then the show is streaming, and I encourage you to do so right now. Well, just so tonight, you know the Robert Duverny Show will, well, thank you indeed, and we truly appreciate it. And I have a couple of friends of mine, colleague, Mr. Ambrose from the great city of Miami, a teacher, a world-renowned teacher. We thank you, sir, for logging this evening. And those of you who have not called a friend, this is a unique opportunity that you have. You call a buddy of yours. Let them know that the Robert Duverny Show is on. If it's Tuesday, if it's 8 p.m. At this time, it's 32 hours. I encourage you to do so right now. Well, we have quite a few things for you on the menu. This menu is loaded with stuff as usual. This is a unique opportunity. We can talk on a series of topics that are relevant and for the folks here in the state and also around the continent of the United States. Again, tonight, what I'd like to talk with you is, of course, the student loan forgiveness. I'm sure most of you who happen to be paying student loans for the past 10, 15, 20 years, you'd like to see some type of relief. And I'm sure President Biden has done everything he could possibly at the executive level, although he was sued by some states who do not think that it's okay to forgive those student loans. But well, one thing we should bear in mind is that President Biden did make a promise to the American people that he would forgive some of the student debts as he start his campaign, and that's one thing that he made in 2020, that he will wipe out some of those student loans. Mr. Biden had already wiped out quite a few. I'm sure some teachers in the House. Let me see some thumbs up. Those of you who've been a proud recipient of the loan forgiveness, I'm sure that's a burden that's been taken off your back. And but there's still work to be done. I think President Biden is a smart man. He's also looking forward to the next election that is due in this November. Again, we got President Trump, former President Trump, with the incumbent President Joe Biden, the two going at it. Two old men going at it. It's going to be a good fight. Pull your popcorn, folks, and then let these two go at it. And I can't wait to see it. Hopefully, God spare my life, I'm around to cover the Biden and Trump campaign. It's going to be a very muddy, and I encourage you to stay tuned. On a more serious note, well, just this week, President Trump, you know, he can't stay off the news. I mean, the guy is an entertainer in chief, and Mr. Trump wanted to be mentioned in the same breath of the Gettysburg Address, and he was somewhere in Pennsylvania. It's so funny. I figured, you know, with so much going on in my life, and also I think I needed something to light you up and share with you that I found interesting. And just before I delve into it, I'd like to take this time to wish a happy birthday to my lovely cousin, Drusilla Desjardins, who's currently in Georgia, celebrating her birthday today. Today is the day that Drusilla, JD, celebrating her birthday. With kudos to Drusilla. She's up there in the great state of Georgia. with Marjorie Taylor Greene. They're probably celebrating her right now. Jazula, we thank you for your support, your love, and of course, we pray that nothing but great things on your way. And stay tuned now. The Robert Duverny Show and all the staff here take this time to wish you a happy birthday. All right. Next on the list is, of course, my pastor, Reverend Walter Prudent, who was celebrating his birthday this past Friday. It was April 12th. My pastor turned 70. 70 was 3.5 scores. He turned 3.5 scores this past Friday, 70. Well, Reverend Prudent, I'd like to take this time to wish you a happy birthday. This whole month of April is your month. And you're a man of God, and we so proud to call you a father. And you've been instrumental, and we are forever grateful to you for your service to the nation and also your service to the community. Okay, thank you, and all the best as you celebrated your birthday. Thank you. All right, folks, we're going to turn the chapter now. Again, as I said on the top of the segment, Abraham Lincoln was the president of the United States. Actually, back then, we have quite a few tense moments in the United States, particularly in 1863, as you may remember, the Civil War, and that's when President Lincoln will address the nation, who was on the brink of collapse. And I mean, there was a war, Civil War, North and South. As you know, there are maybe some politicians out there who do not know the blueprint of the Civil War. It was about slavery, and that was a man thing. The South would not liberated slavery, and as a matter of fact, it wasn't the best way to go about it. The slavery back then was a big business, and then there are some who still deny the fact. I think the best way we can move forward as a nation and as a family, as a people, is to patch all wounds, okay? What I mean by that is to expose it and then talk about it and bury it. The thing is just the fact that every time we deny something of this magnitude, and it tells me that I'm not a people. I put it this way: when I mean I'm not a people, I mean I'm not a race. I'm not part of it. Because you know what? The engine of the U.S. economy has always fallen on the backs of the blacks, okay, of the Indians, okay, the less fortunate. And now for them to just because you're running a campaign and you tend to shove it under the rug, I think it's wrong. And because we have a generation that we must educate, that gonna take the mantle when we do passing the baton. So I think it's important that we know our history, where we came from, where we're going, and what we aim to do. So I think it's important that we put emphasis on those, and just so we as a nation, we know what's going on, and pray for the best. All right. Next up on the line is reason I point that up is that we living in a moment where inspiration is in high demand, but yet no one to fulfill it. Okay. We have folks who aspire to the highest office of the land, yet they do not have the gut. They do not really have the tenacity. They do not have they don't know how to do. Put it this way, they're struggling with issues like that. But I think we're doing a disservice to our young children, our young people. They ought to reveal to us when we're long gone. I can point out just at the top of the segment, we mentioned Abraham Lincoln, who wrote the famous speech. Okay, Abraham Lincoln wrote the famous speech of the Gettysburg Address. I mean, at the pinnacle time of the war, it was July 1863. You know, and when that war was raging, I mean, all right. So, and then the nation has come to a brink of collapse. And then we tend to see history to repeat itself. History does repeat itself. But now, What, it's okay for history to repeat itself, but then again, do we have the folks that we once had who have the backbone to be willing to lose an election and to save the nation? Do we have those folks? That's what I'm talking about. So we live in a society these days where we would say the most outrageous thing just to have coverage. I have issue with this as a man. I have issue with this because men, we tend to, we don't make noise. We tend to work behind the scene. And when we do talk, people listen. Just like when we're home and our children, our wives, and they aspire to us because we take the mantle to go to work, to live a decent life, to be law-abiding citizens. And at the same time, when we talk, people listen. But not to be bombastic about it, not to say the most outlandish thing, just to get coverage for a minute or two. And right now, I pity these politicians who said the most outrageous things that I wouldn't even say in my sleep. Those guys standing behind a microphone or sitting behind a Twitter account or on the halls of Congress to put type of to utter those words, put it this way, to other words that to me, if they even thinking about of what they're saying, but I guess they're just living for the moment. But it comes back to me, what would Abraham Lincoln do? What would Franklin Delano Roosevelt do? What would Dr. Martin Luther King do? Those are guys who we revere until today. Right now we're in 2024. Almost 200 years from when Abraham Lincoln wrote the Gettysburg Address in November to commemorate that site at Gettysburg. To me, it shows courage. It shows leadership. That's what we don't have these days. We don't have that in the schools. We don't even have that in some of the churches. We don't have that in the community. That's what I'm worried about America. Because the best of America, really, it's not in some guys up a multi-billionaire. It's not someone who was brought up with a silver spoon in his mouth. No, it was the average folks like you, like me. Abraham Lincoln was a man who ran for a local election numerous times and never won. But now you would think he would back down and then call the deal. No, he was resilient. This is a man who was knocked down, but every time he was knocked down, he got right back up. This is the sentiment that we must cultivate in our children's life today. This is what I want for my children. This is what I want for those in my community. This is what I want for folks I've come in contact with. It doesn't have to be my own children. And this is where we fall short. We want the very best for our own family. No. When America does well, we all do well. That's the mindset we should have. Let's lead from the behind the scene. We don't have to be in the limelight. We don't have to. I mean, it's short-lived. To me, I always think of limelight as someone who aspired to be number one in this. I'd say number one song just came out. It's on the top chart for the first 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks later, they don't even know you existed. So it's because something else came along. But imagine the impact that you would make in someone's life. All right, and again, it does not require the limelight. It does not require for you to be at the forefront. It's just required for you to lead and consistently. That's what we want. All right. Dr. King is a man who was a civil rights leader. Imagine a man of Dr. King's stature who lived until April 4th, that early April 4th of 1968, until he was assassinated. This is a man I emulate, just like I emulate my pastor, Reverend Prudent. And I emulate Dr. King as well. Now, that tells me his profound leadership that is touching me on 56 years later. Just this past, the 4th was last Wednesday, last Thursday. Okay, Dr. King, 56-year anniversary. Now imagine 56 years later, I'm still talking about the man. I'm still a recipient of his work. That's profound. That's deep. That's what we want in our leaders. And this is what we want for our young people as well. And this is what you and I have to do. What type of legacy that we are leaving for these kids? This is where I want to go with you tonight. Dr. King is one that I've always wished if I were to leave 60 years ago, 70 years ago, I would love to be in his presence. That speaks volume. Imagine that. The man is long gone, but yet is still aspire others. All right. So this is what we want in our leaders, our elected officials, and our homes too. I think fathers, if we're going to look for politicians, if we're going to look for an artist or celebrity to be a model to your kids, I think you may not find it there. I think we have our own duty to do. Well, I'm going to look at some questions here. Okay. I've seen that Dr. Duverny just mentioned that unfortunately this generation does not even care about their parents, let alone their country. Dr. Duverny, I could not have said it better. That's quite alarming. That's something that's need to ponder further. And as a nation, I think it's time for us to take our own pulse where we are as a nation. Are we a nation of law and order? Are we a nation of moral, of ethics? Are we? That's the question we need to pose ourselves. All right. Well, thank you so much for bringing us out. And then if we don't have a nation, we don't have a country, really. Because the nation lives in each one of us. Because each one of us is a nation of the United States. Because we are the best of the United States, regardless of your race, your creed, your background. You are the United States, because the United States is an ideal. That's the reason why when we come here, we embrace the American dream. I think this is the greatest country on earth. Everyone aspires to come to the United States because of the land of opportunity. But now we need to preserve that land of opportunity, those ideals, those creeds we go by, that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, life, liberty, and the justice of happiness, and the pursuit of happiness. That's key. How many nations around the world can utter those words? And that's what I'm afraid of, is these are dissipating every so often. Every now and then it's like it's a thermometer, it's going down. It's dimming. The word I was looking for is dimming. It's dimming until it's gone. We need to reignite that fire. Ignite the light that President Reagan talked about. We are a shining city on the top of a mountain. On the top of the hill, they see us. They aspire. People come here by boats. People come here by all means. They walk because they believe in the American dream. That's what we need to uphold. Well, let's see, I just answered Dr. Duverny. Well, let me see, Mr. Ambrose here. So the school system also takes away something from them, how to be a good citizen. Social media offers entertainment, therefore they don't need us as parents. Mr. Ambrose, in the word of a wise man, I could not have said it better. Um, there's a saying that every now and then, when there's a gap or where there's a void, it must be filled. And I think that's where parents do not engage in the students, the children education. When they're not engaged, something else must be filled that spot. And that's where we as parents, we fail. We fail our kids. And now it's easy for the kids to get caught up with the social media, and social media become a mentor for these kids. They wake up with the gadgets in their hands. They're having lunch with it. The other day it was so funny. I was watching a clip, whereas we have 6 students, and they were outing for dinner. Somehow each one of them were on their cell phones. They were not talking. People don't talk anymore. There's a great saying in Washington, D.C., when people talk, great things happen. Now imagine why those folks in Congress, they can't get along, because they're so busy in their gadgets. Marjorie Taylor Greene is texting Matt Gaetz from Florida. How can we be the lousiest members in the Congress? And there's so many others, to name, but these two are famous, and they are the diva and the divo of the House of Representatives. And it's a shame. We're not talking. I mean, we're not having a conversation. And it's not just at the school level. I think the parents are also to blame for it. They don't create the time, the space to lecture the kids about the importance of communications. And at the same time, I think as parents, at least one day out the week, it may not be the entire day, but at least create a 2 hours a window just to be with your children. I think there's more than just clothing your kids, shelter them, and put food on the table, but they need that human contact where we can talk, even just have pizza, just do something in your backyard, and how was the week, things of that nature. I know it's busy, but again, the kids are growing up so fast. I have a 9-year-old daughter. I mean, just the other day, a young girl was born, and then now she almost, she gave me up to my shoulder. She's growing up so fast. And now you wonder if I don't enjoy her right now, play with her and do silly things with her, as parents and children will do. And then the time will pass, and then she'll be gone to college, and next thing you know, she's walking down the aisle, and then here you are, all grumpy, all alone, but you didn't get to enjoy your kids. So I think it's important. And while you're doing that, you're instilling values in those kids. That's key. That is fundamental. That's key. So I encourage you tonight, those of you who are smart enough to tune into the Robert Duverny Show on a regular basis, make that time. I'm not saying just go ahead and buy your kids the latest video game and things like no. Spend time with them. Know what's going on in the school activities, the friends they're engaging with. Those are important. Those are important. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Ambrose, for putting those out. We encourage you to raise questions, and those are very unique approach. And I encourage you to continue to watch the Robert Duverny Show on a regular basis. It's already 8:55. There's only 5 minutes until the hour. And again, I think it's an interesting topic. I think we have so much we can delve into. But I always make sure that we create a platform where the participants, my viewers, are welcome on board. They can raise questions, and we can bring some awareness. And then again, what we do on the Robert Duverny Show, we do our duty, we do our research, prior, and then if there's any questions, we'd be more than happy to answer those questions for you. And at the same time, it's create a platform where everyone can participate. This is the goal. This is what we look forward to every Tuesday and on Sunday. Also, I should point out that this show is also aired on Sunday, but in Creole version. And there are some folks in the Haitian community who have asked me to do a Creole show. Again, the Haitian community have been pretty tuned in. The past few Sundays, I was able to log in, and they're very energized people. They're energetic, that's for sure. And we have fun, and we talk different issues which relates to Haitian politics, and at the same time a new vision for Haiti. So I encourage you, if you have a Creole or speaking audience at your house, friends, just have them tune into the Robert Duverny Show. Have them to subscribe to my YouTube channel, the Robert Duverny Show. Then we'd be more than happy to engage with them and talk about issues that are related to them. All right, so I think it's important that we do that. So until next time, and I encourage you to stay tuned, subscribe to the channels, and like the channel, and also refer to a friend. I'm sure most of you are watching the Robert Duverny Show. Again, it's a new platform. We are improving things for you on a regular basis, because everything we do at the Robert Duverny Show, we do that with you in mind. All right. So I look forward to seeing you here in not too distant future, hopefully next Tuesday. And just before we leave, I think I should also point out, those of you who have filed your taxes, kudos to you. The tax deadline was yesterday, April 15th. April 15th, again, folks, it's a tax deadline. If you didn't get to do it, it'll be too late. You'll be penalized. But those of you who did not get a chance to submit your tax, and then if you do not owe the IRS, you don't have to worry about it. You have until October to file your taxes from now, if you don't owe the IRS, because technically IRS is making money off your tax return, because they put it in the bank, they're earning interest. So once you file taxes, the IRS have to deduct what you qualify for and send it to you. So the IRS has no problem, because they have to pay you. But when you owe them, that's when they want to make sure that you do it by April 15th, because you owe, we need that money to be in the house by April 15th. But and those of you who do not owe, you can rest at ease that you don't have any penalty or waiting for you until October. We encourage you to do taxes. And then you have 3 years to file your taxes. So the IRS has implemented a lot of changes. They hired a lot of representative. Things moved quite easily this year. Things were smooth, no issue, no headaches. I thank all of you who have supported the Homages firm, and we encourage you to stay tuned. And you have been an anchor for Homages, and Homages is forever grateful to your support in the community. And again, this is it for tonight. It's already 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. It's 30 seconds until 9 o'clock, and we're gonna leave you here until next time. And if there's no more questions, we're gonna go ahead and close the segment this evening. I'd like to say good evening to the early viewers, Mr. Diaka Tazen from Pembroke Pines. Thank you for logging to the Robert Duverny Show. Mrs. Bernadette Ray Me from the great city of Pembroke Pines. Kudos to you for logging to the Robert Duverny Show. And also Dr. Duverny from the great city of Pembroke Pines. Mr. Ambrose Odelson, a premier teacher in Miami-Dade public school, one who really taken it upon himself to educate the kids. We appreciate you. CJP Lewis, all right. Hello there. Thank you for logging into the Robert Duverny Show. We get to see you this evening. We are forever grateful. All you viewers who have taken the time to be with us this Tuesday. Again, I encourage you to tune in next Sunday. Next Sunday will be the 21st of April. Will be on at 7 p.m. for a Creole version of the Robert Duverny Show, which merely dealt with the Haitian politics and also issues that are affecting the Haitian community. Until next time, my fellow Americans, have a lovely evening, and we look forward to seeing you in not too distant future. Have a good night, and stay tuned for the Robert Duverny Show.